Hey guys, and welcome to Faewood. Now, if you can hear a noise in the background, I have got a cooler on in the background because it is so stinking hot here today. And for some reason, this is the day Dan decided to do some slow cooking, but it's his birthday, so he can do what he likes. And speaking of which, because it's his birthday, I wanted to make a cake. And I've been seeing all these really cool cakes with like moss and, you know, mushrooms and things on them. And I really wanted to give it a try. So I found like a few different recipes of like how to make, you know, edible moss. And we're going to give it a try and see if it works out. I got my husband to pick out a cake that he wanted, and I'm doing the lazy bake because it's really more about the decoration side of it. So he likes this orange cake, so he picked that one out. And then I'm going to make this. I'll show a little bit of making it, but it's going to be more about the decorating part. Well, the cake's been baked and it's looking a little flat. I was meant to use a smaller tin, but I didn't have one, so it's more like sort of a pancake or something. Hopefully it tastes good. I'm sure it does. I'm gonna just now cover it with all sorts of moss and stuff, so let's get started on that part. Oh my god. Well, that didn't work out good at all. It got stuck. It wouldn't come off. I've got cake bits that, I don't know, got stuck to the bottom, and so now it's even thinner. Sorry, Dan. This is not the cake you hoped for. Well, I'm not going to be a baking channel anytime soon with this sort of effort. I'm going to try and salvage this, and we're going to start trying to make some moss. Now, I'm going to link the recipes I found on how to make moss because I did not come up with this. This could be more of a mess. Maybe this video won't even see the light of day because of the tragic result, but we're going to give it a try. So basically, there's been a few methods I've seen for making moss, and a lot of the ones that I've seen involve crushing up some pale coloured biscuits with some food colouring, baking it again, and then crushing all of that up and sprinkling it on. So I'm thinking I'm going to come at this though like actual soil and moss and blah blah blah. And I'm going to ice it with some brown icing so that we've got like, you know, mud or dirt or whatever that moss would grow on. And then we'll start making some of the moss and add that on. I'm going to try and like make some other textures of moss as well. Like I did see a recipe that had coconut in it, and you mix that in with some food colouring and bake that or dry it out or whatever and use that. So that'll give a different texture again. I've got some chocolate biscuits that I can grind up and use as like dirt. So I even grabbed like, I've got like this flax seed here because I thought, oh, it kind of looks like a different kind of dirt. We're gonna try and salvage this poor little cake and make it something halfway decent for Dan's birthday. Now to make brown, usually it's some combination of the 3 primary colours, and you just need to play around with it to get the right kind of brown. So I'm going to put a fair bit in because I want this to be dark brown. I want some really nice chocolatey brown colour, hopefully. So I'll see. I'm going to try and make some dirt out of this and bash it up in this. Alright, so one of the recipes I've got for making moss says to use pale coloured biscuits, mash them all up. I think you put a bit of margarine in it, you put your colouring in it, and then bake it and then re-mash it, basically. So I'm going to give that a try. I've got these shortbread biscuits, I thought they would be good, and I've got all my colourings and stuff, so we're going to do some more bashing. Something looking kind of like moss. Let's bake it for a little bit and do some more bashing. Alright, we're not going to be precious. I'm going to use the same bowl again because this is going to look all very natural and hopefully mossy. I'm going to try and do the coconut one now and just mix that with some food colouring, stir it up and see what comes of it. I don't know if this is going to work. I did see one that said you could use coconut, but it had like a gel food colouring. I don't have that, so I don't know. We're going to wing it and we're going to see what happens. Here's the moss, looking pretty good actually. I could have baked it a little bit longer, it's a little bit moist. I didn't bother making it into a full-on biscuit again to re-crush it, but a lot of the recipes do say to do that. I just figured it wouldn't make a lot of difference, but yeah, maybe the texture would be different. It could probably be bashed down a little bit more, I think, because there are still some clumpy bits, so I may do a little bit of that, and then I'm going to start piling even more on top of this. Also, can I just mention that when Dan saw the size of this cake, he burst into hysterics. So that's the reaction we have so far from the birthday boy. He thinks it's hilarious that my cake is so flat. Alright, I feel like I want just a little bit of paler green on there, so I'm going to bash a couple more biscuits up, add some yellow food colouring, a little bit of the green, and see if I can get a bit more of a limey green colour. Alrighty, well, I don't know if it's moss, but it's something. I mean, it does kind of have that dirt, mossy kind of look to it, I guess. To really add to it, or try to at least, I'm gonna make some little toadstools out of strawberries and marshmallows. Now, I couldn't get the little mini marshmallows. I think they would have worked out better. I had to get regular size. So it is possible I'm going to have to cut these or something so that they make a good little base to my toadstool. So I'm going to chop like the end of the strawberry off, sit it on top of a marshmallow, and I've seen it done before and they kind of look like little toadstools. So let's make a little fairy ring on this cake. I've absolutely made such a mess here. It's just like a bomb exploded. It's actually not too bad. It's a little fat little toadstool, but yeah, it's alright. Well, it was a bit of a rocky start with the cake coming out kind of flat and not looking the greatest, and then getting stuck, getting overheated and stressed and all of the rest. But I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. I would definitely use these techniques again to do like mossy coloured stuff, and then using the mushrooms on there as well. I think this is so cute, having a little fairy ring mushroom cake. I mean, to be honest, it's more my aesthetic than it is my husband's, but he gets to eat it and enjoy it at least. So hopefully, I haven't tried the cake, hopefully it didn't dry out too much because of the fact that it came out like flat. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, because I don't know, I think this is so stinking cute. I could imagine doing this for like little cupcakes as well. That'd be really cute. Yeah, it's just a nice technique. It's pretty easy to do. You just get any sort of biscuits and crush them up and put colouring through them, and then you can rebake it or whatever, and use that texture that it forms to decorate. I've got a few little sprinkles on there as well, just to add some extra texture. I've got my chocolate biscuits crumbled up on there. So there's a lot of texture and yumminess happening on the cake there. And I really think these are so cute as well, these little mushrooms. Using a strawberry, it just looks so cute. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more crazy cooking adventures from myself. And for the rest of you, I'll see you next time in Faewood. Bye guys.